to just pull back and allow God to be God. Because you know what? Sometimes we get in God's way.
Okay.
Sometimes we get in God's way. You know, He wants to do things or manifest Himself in people's lives and do things for them. Sometimes we'll get in our way, particularly with our children. You know, one thing I learned a few years ago, you know, because we know all our children are close to us, those oftentimes the most important things in our lives, other than God. And, you know, so we try to help and try to do. And I remember praying. And I listened to a message one time. I think it was Jensen Franklin, I believe. And he said that we cannot take our children's testimony. He said God may have to go through things for them to have a testimony. And sometimes as parents, I think they call them helicopter parents because they hovering. You know, if the child needs something, they swoop down. You know, if something goes wrong, they swoop in. You know, and just fix the problem. You know, but we have to allow God to be God in their lives. So they have to go through things that, like I said, that will give them their testimony. You know, so much as we want them to do the right thing and make the right decision, that's on them. Now, agency, God uses them for a purpose. That's why He uses us for a purpose. So there's some peers that they may have, to see them going through things, you know, and see them come out of things that they can minister to, and they can see that they can use their testimony to help somebody else. So, sometimes we have to just let God be God. And I know my husband often says, you know, and I'm sure all you don't know, you know, take care of grown folks. You know, so sometimes sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. You know, but I thank God, you know, that He is who He is, you know, and in spite of us, you know, God's gonna be God regardless.
Amen.
So we're praying for him, you know, and, you know, for my husband getting the liberty. Because one thing, I tell people about him, that it doesn't matter who you are, from the least to the greatest, be it, you know, one of the children, if you know, Kaya came in and said she want to say something, he would let her say something. You know, and like I told Mr. Finn a few weeks ago, if Bishop James come in, get the same Holy Ghost. You know, so it's no greater or lesser. It's one Spirit, one Lord, one God, one Baptist. You know, so it's all God. I'm going to ask you now before we get started to turn to the book of Philippians, chapter 4. So this is something that God has been, I have been questioning God about it, and He's been dealing with me on, you know, and this is Paul speaking. He said, "But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now in the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein you were also careful, but you lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me."
Amen.
Amen. You know, that's one thing I have been reading and questioning God about, is content. Go back and say, in all things I've learned to be content. That's why these little visual aids up here. And it has content. Look at the definition. Amen.
Amen.
So we looked at the definition of content, because I began to ask God, I said, what is the difference between content and complacent? You know, because sometimes we get, sometimes we may get the two kind of, they're not interchangeable, they're very different. You know, so that's why I want to know, how do you know in your contentment you're not becoming complacent? So with content, I looked at the definition, and it says, desiring no more than what one has, satisfied, ready to accept or acquiesce, willing. You know, it's okay, Lord, you know. So how do we know we're content? And basically the word satisfied kept coming up. No matter what I looked up, the word satisfied kept coming up. You know, when Paul tells us, you know, he's learned when he has plenty, he learned, you know, when you have enough, be content. Basically, it's just knowing that God has it. You know, God's got it. If we trust in God, and we put all our belief and faith in God that He has our back, if we're in His will, that's the key, we're in His will, doing what we're required to do. Because we remember that we have a covenant with God. And the covenant is a contract. So with the contract, each party has a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm fulfilling my end of the contract, God's gonna fulfill His.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm in His will, I'm covered.
Amen.
So then I become complacent. And it says, feeling so satisfied with your own abilities or situation that you feel you do not need to try any harder. Or marked by self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. So when you're complacent, you have the potential to become unaware that what you're doing is actually detrimental to you. It says that you're unaware of the dangers and deficiencies. So I began to ask God, it's okay now, so how is it that I understand and make sure that I'm not complacent when I'm being content? So the way He broke it down to me, to help me to understand it, and that's why I had this tent. He said, now, you can be content, but you got to also be ready to make a change. And if you're complacent, no, oftentimes, I know when we all grew up, you know, we're ready to leave home, we won't get our own place. We'll get our own place. I'll be glad I get my own place. My own rules, you know, because, you know, mom and dad's rules are not what we want to live by. You know, we're ready to get our own place. And so when I thought about place, you know, I thought about a house, which is why I have the house there. And what are some of the differences, other than the one, the tent, one, the house? Tell me some of the characteristics about the tent and the house.
The house is more stable.
More stable? Anybody else?
Tent, you know, break it down and move it and go somewhere else and move on to something else.
Exactly. Trent?
There's a door on the place, but on the tent, there's just a zipper.
Okay, exactly. Anybody else?
That the house is what words am I saying? Covered more. Weathering.
Okay, okay, all right.
Get the words though. You know what I'm saying?
Shelter.
Right, exactly.
Shelter.
Very
Shelter.
Okay, well, Jamil?
The house is more comfortable.
Okay, okay. Zach?
Inside what?
Inside plumbing, that's important. That's important. Anybody else?
Get more room.
Is that get more room to move around, Ms. B?
The tent is stayed down, but the house is more stable than the tent because the tent can blow away. I know the house can blow away also, but it is more stable than the tent.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
the house is built on a foundation,
Exactly.
where the tent is not.
Right. Zach?
The tent is mobile.
Okay, mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Trent?
A tent is portable and a house is not.
Okay, exactly.
And that a tent, if you set it if you set it up outside, it may get wet through the little side part. Even though there's gonna be a part blocking it, rain can still get in.
Exactly, exactly. So even though if your house may have a leaky roof, it's easier you still got that shelter. You're more comfortable. You know, but God the way He did with me is that now, sometimes we can be content in a lot of things. You know, our marriages, our relationship, even in God. You know, our jobs. If we become a little complacent, in those areas. So if we, for instance, in our marriages, we become a little too complacent, then the problems are on the rise. Okay, yes, my husband and I have been married 35 years. Nonetheless, we still have to work on our marriage and our relationship with one another.
Amen.
You know, otherwise, you know, it becomes stagnant, it becomes stale, and we become distant. Because we have to continually work at it. Continue to
Amen.
work at it.
Amen.
You know, it's the same thing, you know, with our jobs. You know, sometimes we have jobs and we get a little too complacent. We start slacking off. You know, we come in a little late, make it a little early. You know, we start being that exactly precise on some things. You know, we may read things, we're supposed to be proofreading things. We may get back because we're not taking the time to do what we need to do. And then same thing with God. But God has given us all a purpose, you know, in our salvation. So we have found our place in God. Now, our place may be ministering, it may be evangelizing, maybe teaching. You know, number one thing with God, He's always changing. You know, and I think St. John 3:8, It says, the wind bloweth where it listeth, but you know not where. Same as the Spirit of God. So the Spirit needs to be able to move within us when God tells us to. So sometimes when he told me, say down, if you get in your place, get stuck in your place, you won't move. We get in our what there's a scripture that refers to as our sealed houses, you know, and we want to stay there because we're comfortable, we got security, it's a foundation, and we good. We're good because we're in our place in God. Lord, I go to church every Sunday. I pray. I read my Bible. But there's something else He wants us to do. So now, if it's in my tent, if God said move, I can move a whole lot easier.
All right now.
Because I'm not stuck in my place, you know, because I'm willing to be moved. You know, but if I get in a place, we'll get in our place, and you know, we get stuck sometimes. You know,
come on now.
Years ago, I was working at a job, and my supervisor left for another job, and they had put an interim person in place, and the thought came to me that I wouldn't be there when a new person came. And I even told my husband about it, you know, and I was like, I don't know where that came from, because you know what? I was good.
Okay.
I was in my place. You know, I was working well with the interim person. I was on the search committee for the new person, you know, so I was good. You know, but when the new person came in, you know how they say a leper can change the spots? You know, there was like a sheep in wolf's clothing. You know, this person was so difficult. So difficult. I would pray. I was saying, Lord, what is it that I'm doing with him? And He took me back to that little thought.
All right now. All right.
I dismissed.
All right.
Months prior, they said I wouldn't be there when a new person came.
All right now.
So all I could do was repent. You know, because sometimes when we hear things, if it's not what we like, we attribute it to the devil. You know, we always want to hear the great, the smooth things from God. You know, you won't get a new house, you won't get a new car, you won't get you a spouse. That's what He wants, that's what all things we want to hear. You know, but those things we don't like, we attribute like, okay, Lord, that couldn't have been you. You know, but you know what? I got in my place. He could have moved me. I wouldn't move. You know, but I ended up resigning probably a year after He'd been there. You know, but that was my fault because I had gotten stuck. I had to consult God, and Lord, is that you? You know, what I need to do. I just dismissed, like, okay, Lord, you know, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm in my place. I know what's going on, so I'm good. And sometimes we do the same thing with in our relationship with God. He may say, okay, it's Wednesday, it's time for Bible class. He may say, I need you to go over there, you know, and visit someone. You know, but we get in our place and say, Lord, it's Bible class time. I can't go over there by yourself to go to Bible class, Lord. You know, and He may have given you the word that person needed, you know, to come back to God, to restore their lives. You know, so we have to be willing, you know, sometimes to pick up our tent and go where God says go. And not just stay in our place because, you know, we're comfortable there. You know, because and like one of the kids said, you know, this tent, you know, it can leak. It may get a little uncomfortable sometimes. And our salvation may be like that. God says, as I suffered in the flesh, if you suffer in the flesh, arm yourself likewise. So we shouldn't expect that everything is going to be smooth sailing every day.
All right,
you know,
now.
He may say, I need you may be in line at Walmart, a grocery store. Go over there and pack that lady's groceries. If we in our place, we're going to say, Lord, that can't be you. I might not have enough for my groceries. You know, but if we in our tent, we'll be able to move. Okay, Lord, I don't know what's going to come of this, but I'm going to do it. You know, I may not have enough of mine, but hey, I'll make it work. We'll be more obedient. We're more willing, you know, to move when God says move. And same thing in our relationships. You know, and I'm terrible. My husband said I'm terrible sometimes in relationships as far as, you know, reaching out to people and keeping connected. You know, but we have to do that, you know, because we can't assume a person knows. We can't assume, you know, yes, because I haven't called you in 2 or 3 months that you know I'm still thinking about you. Like Ms. B said, love is an action word. It's an action word. I can think about you all day, but you don't know that.
Right.
You
Amen.
don't know that. Like my husband, you know, sometimes we see each other in the morning and at night. You know, on his way out the door, then when we come in. You know, so but throughout the day, I'll call him. Or he'll call me to see how we're doing. You know, so that's important. We have to do that.
Amen.
We can't become complacent. We have to remember that, you know, even though we're content, we have to be expecting something else. that we can be content, but be satisfied, but knowing that there's something more. There's something more that I can
Amen.
be doing.
Amen.
There's something more that I can make this better. You know, so, and all we do with our children, and everybody we come in contact with, people should know, should be able to see, because we are the only Bible some people are going to see.
Yes, ma'am.
And how we respond to day-to-day
Mm-hmm.
issues and activities and problems and trials and tribulations is the way they feel like all Christians are supposed to act. So we can be a good light, or we can be a bad light, but we can be a light because he's already told us, you're a city that can sit upon the hill. I mean, a light is, when you are a city upon the hill, everybody's going to see you. They're going to look up to you, whether you want them to or not. Sometimes we want to have our pity party and just, not communicate with people and just have our own little sour day. But God said you can't do that. There is no time off in God. There is no time off. We may ever get vacation time from our job or sick leave, but we don't get that in God. Because every day, any day that we decide we're just going to go off and just not, be godly, maybe somebody, the very day somebody sees us and is going to need that encouragement or that example. So there's no time off. This is a 24/7 job. But you know what? God never sleeps, nor does he slumber.
All right now.
So it's not like, we don't have a source we can go to. Because sometimes on some jobs, if you need some help, you call IT, they close. You get them recording. The hours are between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Where is 8 o'clock? See, God not like that. If we are impressed on our spirit, somebody needs us to pray, God is there. And so we just have to understand and learn that whatever we do, this is my word to you, just remember, this house is stable and it's comfortable and it looks good, it's on the foundation, it's more secure, but don't get stuck here. Don't get stuck here. Sometimes God needs us in our tent. He needs to be able for us to move when he says move and do what he says do. And the drop, because it said the Spirit speaks expressly. Expressing nothing. When we think about expressway, we think about I-85 or 65. There's no stop signs. There's no traffic lights. You just go. And then you don't have to get out till you get ready to get off. Whereas you get on 280, you have to turn, you got to stop, you got all these stoplights, you got, turns off the road and everything. But see, the Spirit is speaking expressly to the church. To the church. Not to the world, but to the church. So we have to know that, be able to discern the voice of God and the voice of the enemy. Because our lives depend on everyone around us. Because all of us are connected to somebody.
Yes, we are.
Siblings, co-workers, just people at random.
Amen.
They're all connected to us. God puts
Amen.
us, God, it's amazing, how God does. He puts us in situations that we don't even know what's going to happen. But we end up being a blessing to somebody else or they're a blessing to us. Because everything is designed. And all we do is trust his plan and know that he has it all in control. And we'll be good.
Amen. Amen.
I thank you for your time and your patience. I hope something was said for you to carry on and do what God has for you to do.
Amen.
Amen.